of the Parliament, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to greet you and all members of this victorious Parliament on behalf of your 80 million brothers and sisters from Turkey in the understanding of two states and one nation. I am glad because I'm in Azerbaijan. I'm happy because I am at the National Assembly of Brother Azerbaijan, which has liberated Karabakh. I'm happy that I'm at Azerbaijan, which is reached the 30th anniversary of its independence. The liberation of Karabakh was the most important incident of the past 30 years of Azerbaijan, and this way a bleeding wound in the Caucasus has been treated and a major opportunity has emerged for peace and stability in the region. The peace and stability in the region will not only contribute to Azerbaijan, but all regions, countries, and even the whole world, including Armenia. And with our Azerbaijani brothers and sisters for the overall development of the region and to increase prosperity and to establish peace, we are ready to do all we can do. In the past 30 years, during the crisis in Karabakh, we know that who has gotten benefits from this and who has lost out of this. Those who have been hurt, those who have shed their blood, or those who have suffered, and those who have lost spiritually and physically were only the people who lived in Karabakh, and it's not easy because it lasted for 3 decades. For 30 years, my Azerbaijani brothers and sisters were unfortunately had to flee their own homes. And those places remained under occupation. But at the end of 30 years, thankfully, the formerly occupied land was returned to its owners. For 30 years in Karabakh, the conflict had been going on, but there were those who just watched it continue, or there were those who wanted the crisis to continue. Those have always been on the winning side of the crisis. The way to a lasting peace goes through the mutual trust of all the countries and publics of the region and developing cooperations in such a manner. With great leadership, this victory and this peace was made possible by the commander-in-chief of the Azerbaijani armies and the president of Azerbaijan, my brother İlham Aliyev. I'd like to congratulate him once again. In addition to the leaders, in order to reach victory in Karabakh, the Azerbaijani people demonstrated their feelings of national unity and brotherhood, and I congratulate the public of Azerbaijan for this. And of course, without blinking, for their homeland, for Karabakh, and for the liberation of Karabakh, the Azerbaijani armed forces fought very bravely, and I congratulate them as well. For all of our martyrs, may they rest in peace, and my condolences to their families. During this period, as the country and as a nation, Turkey was standing with Azerbaijan with its whole heart. And today, with all of our means, we are still supporting Azerbaijan, and the whole world shall know that we will do so in the future as well. Just like during the Balkan Wars, the Azerbaijani national anthems poet Ahmet Cevat and with a number of Azerbaijani youth, he volunteered to fight in the Ottoman army. Or during the Gallipoli War, there were brave young men who came from Azerbaijan and fought right next to the Anatolian troops, and they were martyred and they gained victories together. Or the lions of the Caucasus army, the brave soldiers of Nuri Pasha, rushed to the aid of our Azerbaijani brothers. Likewise, today and tomorrow in the future, we will always be one, and we will always be together. The bright future of Azerbaijan is also our brightness. Its joy is our joy. Its liberation is our liberation. And its fate is our fate. And its sorrow is our suffering. When Nuri Pasha came to the Caucasus, Armenians had massacred more than 12,000 Muslims and Turks. In the Caucasus, this was one of the darkest days of history. It was a massacre. The Turkish people are sometimes slandered with lies, and those people who slander Turkey should first look at Caucasus. Not even 100 years ago, but they should look at what happened in Karabakh only 30 years ago, or what happened in Hocalı. And if their consciences allow, they should sit down and discuss with us the slanders that they use against us. But still, even if they have eyes, they don't see, or even if they have ears, they don't hear, and their hearts don't allow them to feel. The Azerbaijani land, which was under occupation for 30 years, was demolished and burned down as they were living, and those who do not see these facts have tried to prevent the fight for liberation. They should now come and witness Fuzuli. They should see how it was demolished and it was burned. They should come and see Karabakh. Everything is obvious. Yesterday, we were able to witness, we visited Kelbecer, and we have seen how these places have been laid waste to, or how they have been bombed or vandalized. They are occupiers as they come, and they are destroyers as they live. Only this behavior shows whose homeland Karabakh actually is. Azerbaijani people had to leave Karabakh 30 years ago, but they did not destroy any building. They did not burn down any house, because nobody can destroy their own home, or nobody can burn their own land. But since Karabakh was not their land, they burned down and they demolished everything as they left. The villages that they burned or the towns that they demolished is going to be rebuilt by Azerbaijan now, and hopefully together we are going to build these towns and a new Karabakh will emerge. There is a difference between civilization and vandalism, and if you would like to see the difference, come and observe the difference in Karabağ between the two different time periods. In terms of landscape, Karabağ is one of the most beautiful places in the world, but in terms of art and culture, it was one of the epicenters in the world, and hopefully it will become so once again. As Turkey, hopefully during this process, we are going to continue supporting our brother Azerbaijan. Brothers and sisters, yesterday with my brother İlham Aliyev and our delegations, we were visiting Shusha. We had a chance to visit the liberated Azerbaijani land, and we were very happy to see the Azerbaijani flag being waved in the liberated land. Since the foundation of Shusha, it has always acted like a natural academy of arts where arts, music, and literature flourished, and this tradition was maintained. Pena Hanım, especially the poems of this important figure, are still recited today. Shusha has always been one of the centers of literature. It is like an eagle's nest because it's situated on rocks close to the sky. Maybe that is the reason why Shusha has always received inspiration for music, arts, and literature. This town is also the city of Üzeyir Hacıbeyli, who is a composer, or Reşit Behbudov, and many other artists and poets. Ahmet Ağaoğlu is an important figure, followed not only in Azerbaijan but also in the Turkic world. Shusha is the city of such intellectuals, and once again it will be the city of culture and civilization. It is rising once again. Shusha, being declared the capital of culture of Azerbaijan, and the music festival that was organized in the past few days were a clear message sent out to the world in this regard. The poetry festival is currently being prepared as well. This year, Shusha will be the capital of culture of Azerbaijan, and we are happy to see it as the Turkic world's cultural capital next year. Artists coming from different corners of the Turkic world will meet in Shusha, which will be the best way we can demonstrate our regard for the history of this important city. Not only Shusha or Karabağ, but Azerbaijan or any corner of the Turkic world has given us great poets and artists. For instance, Nizami Gencevi's 880th anniversary is this year. For many centuries, poets have tried to compete against him or have always tried to reach his level. Or Sultan Mehmet the Conqueror wrote under the nickname Avni, and we can see the same feeling in his following poem. This year is also the 850th anniversary of the birth of Ahi Evran and 580th anniversary of Alişir Nevai and 750th anniversary of Hacı Bayram Veli and 700th anniversary of the passing of Yunus Emre. Last year, it was the 1300th anniversary of Farabi's birth, There are very few nations in the world who have such high cultural values. We have to carry these values forward to the following future generations and the whole world. We should commemorate all of them in God's blessings, and all the names that I cannot list here have been the pillars of our civilization, but they're also values of, they're assets of the global culture. Humanity discovers the wisdom in their works, and as they do so, it becomes easier to resolve our issues. We can establish bridges from the past to the future and elevate our civilization on it once again to its deserved level. And it's up to us to do so. Our unity, our brotherhood, our friendship should be strengthened, and we should embrace each other closely so that we can reach this target more quickly. My brothers and sisters, the Karabakh victory is going to bring benefits to Azerbaijan, to the Caucasus, and the rest of the world, and over time this will be understood more deeply. Nobody should be offended by this victory, because this is not a victory of destruction, but rather construction, or not oppression, but rather justice. And it is not a victory of war, but rather of peace, and not of blood, but rather a victory of the heart. If you look at what has been done or what is going to be done after this victory, you can see that the picture that we are creating is now taking shape. First and foremost, on every corner of Karabakh, peace, stability, and hope prevailed once again. From their homes or from their homelands, the Azerbaijani brothers and sisters have been away for 30 years. Now they have the opportunity to go back to their homes. Hopefully, next time we visit this land, we will see that the people of this place have resettled in their homes. And we will rejoice. And I make this call to them from the Assembly of Azerbaijan. Hopefully, your homes are being built, and please come back and resettle in your homes. The occupation has caused a situation of constant conflict, and that tension is now lifted. Now the roads are being built very quickly, viaducts are being built, the power plants are being established and opened. I was able to witness all of them personally. And on the other hand, other infrastructure facilities are being prepared, and hopefully with our state housing administration, we're going to build schools, hospitals, and some other important venues in the city. Nahchivan and Baku will be connected to each other with the Zengezur corridor, which will bring more prosperity and more ease to our region, and it's difficult to describe it. Both in the region and in the world, the oppression of the oppressor does not continue indefinitely, and justice, fairness, and equity prevails, as everyone was able to witness once again. Karabakh is also a place where the plans for their own benefits failed by some circles, and this has been the beginning of a new period, not only for Azerbaijan, but also for Armenia as well. For instance, a new rail line will operate in the Zengezur corridor, and Armenians will be able to reach Moscow and the rest of the world very easily thanks to this line, so that they will not be in self-isolation anymore. We have made our offer with my brother yesterday. Our offer was to bring 6 countries together under a platform, including Russia, Turkey, Azerbaijan, Iran, Armenia, and Georgia. And together with this platform of 6, we can establish security in the region and eliminate hostilities. Of course, Georgia had certain questions, and in the most recent visit to Turkey, I discussed this with the Prime Minister, and I told him that this would be to the benefit of Georgia as well, and we should take this step. You know that we have certain issues between us and Armenia, but despite this, we also want the problems of our Azerbaijani brothers to be eliminated, and likewise, this platform can also contribute to your resolution of your issues with Russia. And we decided to continue working on it because this region does need peace and we have to accomplish this. As Armenia resolves its issues with Azerbaijan, we are going to take the necessary steps as Turkey as well. The opening of the Turkish border will contribute immensely to Armenia. This victory can be turned into the shared victory of everyone, and it's up to us to do so. Nobody should be able to put shackles on Caucasus ever again, and for this goal we should use the opportunities, we should seize the opportunities altogether. We owe this struggle for ourselves and our friends, and we express this by saying the world is bigger than 5 at the global level. For instance, I came here from the NATO summit. At the NATO summit, these were the issues that we discussed or that we handled. And thankfully, the negotiations, the meetings were very positive. But the problems of the world don't end here. There are many other problems that we have to solve in the world. But if we stand strong, if we stand tall, if we unite, and if we are together, with God's grace, we will be able to solve these problems. Hopefully, our sun of civilization will go to the highest point in the sky once again. Peace and justice will prevail in our region and in the world. As I conclude, I'd like to read a small piece from Bahtiyar Vahapzadeh, a great poet.
Azerbaycan, Türkiye. Dinimiz bir, dilimiz bir, ayımız bir, yılımız bir. Aşkımız bir, yolumuz bir. Azerbaycan, Türkiye. Hepinizi saygıyla
Once again, I greet all of you and stay well.